Welcome to the pull-up or the swish. I don't know what we're going to call the podcast yet, so if you got a name, put it in the comments if you like the pull-up or the swish. Either way, welcome to the show. We are going to talk, y'all. And I wish I didn't do it to you. I wish there was other things in the world of basketball for us to dig into, but right now it is all Kevin Durant because that saga refuses to go and die down. It refuses to go away, right? And before we even dig into it, I thought it would be beneficial for us to take like a look back in time, right? Do you remember this? Kevin Durant's one of his first ad campaigns. I saw this on Reddit today and I was like, yo, it's got to go on the show because this is the Kevin Durant that was the nice guy. Right? They were like, we got to figure out a way to make this, we got to dirty him up. Right? Right? He's not a reputation as one of the nicest players in the league. He kisses his mom before games. We've come a long way, have we not? Because this has got to be one of the biggest heel turns in the history of the league because we are not there, right? And this thing gets even wilder and more delicious. And as usual, excuse me, I almost died right there on camera. As usual, you got anything to say, go ahead and put it in the comments. I respond to them all as we keep going, still dying as we go, but hopefully either I'm going to die or the show will go on. You know how that be, right? So let's do a catch up on where we're at with Kevin Durant right now because I think it's mad interesting, right? So Kevin Durant, when the last time we saw the ball turns, right? Kevin Durant has been making a trade demand. And that trade demand is more like a Godfather demand, right? He's like, look, either, Nets, I stay, right? Or you trade your GM, you get rid of your coach, you basically get rid of all the power structure other than the owner, Joe Tsai, install my guy, and then we can go about business as long as, we go about it my way. Which I think is super interesting because, I don't know, I see the conversation around player empowerment. It's one of the most important ones in basketball. Everybody's got a feeling about it. Some people support it. Some people think it's the worst thing to ever hit the league. But whatever you think about it, here it is right. Oh, there it is. Here it is right there, right? There it is right there. If you want to see that we are in the time of player empowerment, it's the fact that you have a star player who not only has the thought, but really is willing to fix their lips to fire the coach, fire the GM, or else. Now, y'all, if that was just it, I might have left it right there. We might not even led with this one. But I got to tell you something. I saw something that anytime I laugh for like 3 minutes straight, it's like it's got to go, right? It has to run. So I saw online the most cold-bloodedest thing about this KD trade saga, and I got to share it with all of y'all at home, right? So we all know that KD basically went to the Nets and said, hey, y'all got to let me go, right? But what we did not know is that his deal, his contract is actually structured a lot like Ben Simmons's, right? All right. So what it says is league sources says that Durant is owed an 8-figure check from the Nets, right? One of 2 payments that are still owed to him, right? The first check was scheduled to be paid the day after he made his trade request. That's pretty cold-blooded. That man said, oh, y'all about to owe me like $10 million or so tomorrow? Yeah, you can go on ahead and trade me today, right? That right there lets you know that, that should let you know where Kevin Durant's head's at, right? This is not a dude who seems to me like he's playing around, and he absolutely is putting his best foot forward. But on the same token, so is the Nets. And I think a lot has been said lately about player empowerment, but can we talk about, the Empire Strikes Back? Can we talk about these teams out here seeing that they're just not going to let business as usual carry on? I'm not saying I know who's going to win. You can't say you know who's going to win, because if you do, yeah, whatever. The reality is we do know it's about to be what we used to call back home some furniture moving, right? We do understand that this is about to be a problem, y'all. But I had to share that with you because that's hilarious, man. It's one thing to say I want out, right? It's another thing to say I want out, and I want that check on the way out the door. It is almost as cold-blooded as Ben Simmons saying, I want out the door, and I want the check, and I don't want to play neither. Basketball would be easy if it didn't have all that basketball getting in the way, making that money. So I think, though, when you really are trying to be fair, right, I think both parties have really actually lost their mind in this circumstance. When you look at the fact that KD out here online hanging out with James Harden over the weekend, and we'll get to that later if we got some time, but the reports are coming out that Kevin Durant has some stipulations. He just won't go anywhere. He's Kevin Durant. It's not enough to pay him the umpteen millions, but you got to put him where he wants to go. Otherwise, him going to be disgruntled. And he says now that it's got to be the Boston Celtics or it's got to be Philadelphia. That's right, y'all. He says you got to trade me to Philly or Boston. Let's break down what this brother is actually requesting here. So, when it comes to Boston, he says, I want to go, but I also want to play with Marcus Smart. It's not, I want to go and get me anywhere, and, I understand we have to compromise by the bing. No, it is, I want to play with Marcus Smart. And so when a player is actually saying that, what are they really saying, y'all? Right? He's really saying, keep Marcus Smart and get rid of either Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. And that's a question I want to ask y'all. Which one of you would you still build around out there in Celtics land? And I know some people say, what are you talking about? It's automatically Jason Tatum. But believe you me, there's some Jaylen Brown stands out there. There are some people who think that dude is the anchor, the secondary sort of anchor, right? The dude who makes the thing go behind Marcus Smart. I don't know where I'm staying on that one, but I would love to hear what you have to say. So put it into the comments and give us a shout, man. And I think that's absolutely, ridiculous for him to not only say where he wants to go, but also sort of try to dictate the hows and the whys when it is a request that you making midway through the season. But in reality, I also think, and so no, I gotta point this out too. So, all right. In order to get him there, in order to get him to the Sixers, it would take them trading Matisse Thybulle, Niang, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, and some people say, hey, that's a no-brainer. I don't even know what you're thinking about. But I only bring this up because Tobias Harris saw this picture that the Sixers posted, and he liked it because people recognize that right there is the whole Kevin Durant package in a party. Right? That's a whole Kevin Durant box. They can take this picture and ship it directly to Brooklyn as far as Kevin Durant is concerned. But, the crazy just don't go from Harden or, Durant, right? It goes both directions. I'm out here looking at what it is that the Nets want. The Nets say it starts, y'all, at Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Word. But really, you should ask for Marcus Smart and the Leprechaun, right? That's how likely you are to get that under these circumstances. Now, look, we know who Kevin Durant is, and that's the wild part about this whole situation. We all know what kind of talent he has, but who are you to think you're going to get full value in this situation? You ain't Daryl Morey. You ain't Danny Ainge, man. how Sean Marks navigates this situation is really going to tell me a lot about where we can put him on the flow chart of great GMs in the league. I mean, I know he's gotten bubble. He has helped to resuscitate the Brooklyn Nets after they got aged. And yes, that's a thing now, right? But can you navigate these kind of waters with this kind of adversity and still Rumpelstiltskin your way to a viable team? Now, that's when I know Sean Marks is actually earning his money. But being out here, making trade demands, right, that are absolutely non-starters, I don't know. There are some people, Mark Stein believes that, there's some 3D chess going on, and I'm inclined to believe it because there's very little from both sides that we're seeing on the surface that makes actual sense in real time. So anytime I see situations like that, I think there's got to be something going on above the rim. And what he's saying is that the reason that Kevin Durant's demands are so lofty and ridiculous is that he is trying to devalue himself. This man's trying to cause such a ruckus, trying to make such a stink, right, that everybody in the league knows what's going on over there, and therefore it puts Sean Marks and the Brooklyn Nets behind an 8-ball. They're now under the onus to make a deal quickly, preferably Boston or the Celtics. I mean, if I could name two teams, right? If I'm Kevin Durant, I just, maybe somewhere in Massachusetts or Pennsylvania. Those would be my preferences. And if that's the case, then of course the Nets got to hold pat. But 5 years, not even 5. 2019 is when that man signed the contract. Did any of you at home think that that's what we were going to get? That's amazing to me. The other thing I'll say is that the other big news is Bill Russell. Bill Russell, man. Right? But I can't let it go. The best that the Nets are going to probably get out of this situation is some package that's centered around Jaylen Brown, right? It's got to be. Right? Is there a better package you could think of? Put that in the comments too, chat. Put it in the comments. But it's got to be like a Jaylen Brown-centered one. That's in the land. That's on Earth 1, right? That, or I think my sneaky dark horse is the Toronto Raptors. Right? When everybody's asleep, that's when the Raptors come in and they swoop. And when I look at a combination of young talent, draft picks, and front office savviness, very few teams in the league check as many boxes as the Toronto Raptors. You got to put them in the mix, right? And that's it. I promise, man. And hopefully next show, Saturday, be there. We ain't talking about Kevin Durant first, right? But luckily, and what some would say bigger news dropped, and I would actually agree, but Bill Russell is getting his number retired throughout the league. The number 6 will no longer be worn in the NBA, and that is now a permanent thing, which I think is dope. I mean, the only people who I don't even know how to frame this when it comes to who Bill Russell was, how important Bill Russell was. His accolades are ridiculous. He's player coach, won 2 championships. Right? 11 rings, right? I did 10, but I don't have an 11th finger. I was not born that way. But still, this is absolutely wonderful. But the first thing that people thought about is, what about LeBron James? He kind of wears the 6. Don't worry. Shams Charania says he's got you. All players who have the number 6 right now, they're going to be grandfathered in. They can wear their 6 as long as they want to wear it. But when they retire, that's it. There will be no new number 6s throughout the league. And good. I think the league should even take it a step further. Right? Hold on. Yeah, I think that the league should actually get the players to all wear like a six patch as well, right? Something to truly commemorate, something that we'll see in baseball. But I'm sure the league's got that on the way. Like, some players really suffer from lack of respect, but when it comes to Bill Russell, all the right people understand exactly who he was to the league. And, I think that we all can kind of sit back as basketball fans and just, really wait to see what the league is going to do, because I'm sure they're going to roll it out. If they did what they did for Kobe, which I think the way that the league commemorated and commemorates Kobe being Bryant is some of the most poignant and powerful stuff that you might see in sports. If they did that for Kobe, they're going to do Bill Russell right. Absolutely. But what's amazing, though, is if you were to ask Bill Russell to give you an idea as to like who he was, if you were to ask Bill Russell, Bill, would you want your number retired? Actually, Bill Russell gave us an answer. So this is a interview with Bill Simmons and Bill Russell. And Bill's about to ask him, hey, why weren't you there when your jersey got retired in Boston, right? And Bill's answer probably tells you where his head is.
Atmosphere in Boston, I wouldn't have survived that as a coach.
I mean, do you regret not going to the Hall of Fame or to when they retired your number?
Not one moment.
I mean, it's kind of weird to retire your number and not be there, though.
In fact, I asked Red not to retire it.
So you retire, you've won 11 titles in 13 years. All they want to do is retire your number. Like, were you that angry at the city of Boston? Who were you angry at?
It had
media?
nothing to do with anger. I don't need any validation. I played, and I played. And
I don't need any validation. I played, and I played. Man, that's a cool cutter, right? That's some cowboy stuff, right? But it is who Bill Russell was, which was dignified, which was confident in who he was, a dude who went through the fire and had seen it all. And that guy, when you have – another thing is, like, seriously, what's another accolade for Bill what's another accolade for Bill Russell? Where do you want him to put it on the wall? Where in the trophy case does it go? Because his stuff is just overwhelming. So I can totally understand. If you were Bill Russell, be Bill Russell. Do that Bill Russell thing. All right, though. The last thing that I got to set y'all off with, because it involves our first block, but it's not your boy, right? It's not your boy, Kevin Durant. It is his boy, Kyrie Irving, right? Kyrie, sorry, I'm trying to get my stuff together. Okay, so Kyrie is very upset with the media's coverage, right, of his esoteric demands. And so he has a message for me. He has a message for you. He has a message for you. And I'm going to read his message for you. Kyrie says that when you're ready to break free of the media's control of your subconscious thoughts and emotions, that you could meet him on one of his platforms and you could chop it up. We at the A11 even. And I'm sure that's like all even or, something. It's something, probably. Elite speak. Tribe. We do know it's a tribe. Love our conversations about the truth and what is truly happening. Welcome to the paradigm shift. So, hey, you at home, man, if you're missing, don't that sound like a whole cult's worth of whole wheat flakes right there? You gonna join up in that? That sounds, man, it hurts my head when I have to agree with Stephen A. But one thing that he says about Kyrie, he has him cold, in which, man, it is okay to be the smart person in the room, but never try to think that you're the smartest person in the room, in the state, in the world. Right? The arrogance just bleeds off of homeboy, and it is just amazing to me, right, that he exists in a universe that not only has no round curves for the earth or effective vaccinations, but one in which all of us, you, me, our kid, everybody, needs to go to one of his platforms so that we can get our subconscious thoughts right. Right. And that's how I leave y'all with that, with just a little bit of business. Get your mind right. But lastly, y'all, I'll say, hey, we are midway through the name change, absolutely going through the View the Right thing into the Hoops and Dreams. Love the fact that we picked it. Obviously, we're filtering in, moving in new symbols, new scripts, fonts, everything. Just stay light. We'll stay communicating. But we're rolling all that out. Excited. I think everything looks good. I just want to also thank all the members who have been joining the membership program, which has been amazing because the membership program really helps us do the content that YouTube doesn't like. If you, for instance, if you're a person who liked the Fish SA Pittsburgh recap and review where we broke it down and really delved into the stories, I loved it too. But YouTube doesn't love it when we do stuff like that. And so the memberships are awesome because they help get that kind of content specifically made. And so the people who support it, thank you. You can join it too. Hit the button, the $sign. $1 gets you in the game, and you know that you're helping real good basketball content. Got a comment today on the video that we did about the first time Bird and Magic played together. Said, yo, I'm a basketball nerd, but I didn't even know this story. And that's the kind of content that your dollar is going to help us bring to you. Definitely check us on Saturday. Next show number 3. Hopefully we don't burn anything down. It's been awesome so far. Hopefully y'all been having some fun. And thanks for joining the Swish over here at View the Right Things, Hoops and Dreams. I'll see y'all Saturday. Peace.